Indiana will have a new senator in the new year. The six-term incumbent, Richard Lugar, is out after he lost in the Republican primary last night to State Treasurer Richard Murdoch.
Eyewitness News anchor John Stair tonight has a look back at Lugar's 36 years in the U.S. Senate and his career accomplishments.
When Mr. Lugar first went to Washington, more than half of all Hoosiers weren't even born yet. It was 1976. The Reagan Revolution was still 4 years away.
It was a very, very bad year for Republicans in 1976. We lost the presidency. We lost a lot of races around the country, so Lugar was one of the bright spots.
We intend to face this new experience as a family.
Lugar had little seniority in the Senate, but he was not a neophyte politician. He was a two-term Indianapolis mayor who remade Indianapolis by recasting it as the amateur sports capital of the world. He built Market Square Arena downtown, which started the city on the road to Super Bowl 46 4 decades later.
Lugar put us on the map. All the good things that have happened since, which have involved contributions from Bill Hudnut and Steve Goldsmith and Bart Peterson and now Greg Ballard. They've all built on it in their own way. But the foundation is laid by what Lugar did.
As he climbed the seniority ladder in the Senate, his seat seemed safe at home. He started thinking bigger, even launching a presidential campaign in 1995.
I am a candidate for President of the United States.
The campaign fizzled, but Lugar was already turning his attention to broader issues. He was a statesman, co-sponsoring the Nunn-Lugar Cooperative Threat Reduction Program that has dismantled more than 7,500 nuclear warheads since 1992. I traveled with him in 2002 on one of his many trips to Russia.
In which we've worked out a relationship with the Russians in which we are allowed to come here.
But the more he concentrated on foreign affairs, the less connection he had with Indiana voters. Lugar made frequent trips home, but he no longer had a permanent home here. He sold his in 1977, and political opponents made that an issue in the latest primary campaign. Richard Murdoch, his opponent, went so far as to hold a press conference on the lawn.
After the Democrats had launched that story about that house, that seemed a likely place to do it. And it certainly does make the point that he has not lived in Indiana since 1977.
At 80 years old and now a lame duck senator, Lugar has another 7 months on the job. He'll leave with the longest service record in Congress in Indiana history and in the top 20 nationwide.
Historically, this is not just one of the great senators now. This is one of the great senators in United States history. He is like a Daniel Webster. He's like a Henry Clay, names that I fear that too many of our kids in grade school and high school don't even know anymore.
Both Webster and Clay left the Senate to become Secretary of State. Lugar may not follow that path, but his impact on foreign affairs from his Senate seat has been significant. And no one can argue the fact that his work helped make the world safer, not just for Hoosiers, but for everyone. The Nunn-Lugar Cooperative Threat Reduction Program is the signature achievement of Lugar's Senate career. Ironically, because it's a bipartisan effort, it's also part of what ended that career. Murdoch made it clear in his campaign that he believes bipartisanship is no longer a desirable quality in a senator.